So first function is fx equal to square root of 1 minus cos x, and our statement is expand the Fourier series of the given function within the interval minus pi to plus pi. Within the interval minus pi to plus pi. Now we all know that whenever the limit is from minus pi to plus pi, we need to check whether the function is even or odd. So for that, let's replace x with minus x on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. Right hand side will become 1 minus cos of minus x, and we again know that cos of minus theta equal to cos theta. So it will remain same. F of minus x is equal to square root of 1 minus cos x. That means f of minus x is equal to fx again. So this implies fx is an even function. For odd function, it should be equal to minus of fx. But if it is equal to the same function, so it will be an even function. And for even function, Bn is equal to 0. There is no need of finding Bn. So let us start from the value of a naught. Now one more thing, we cannot integrate square root of 1 minus cos x. So what we are going to do, firstly, we are going to represent the given function in some another form where we can integrate that. How? We have square root of 1 minus cos x. Now we have a result. It is equal to 2 sine square x by 2. You can put a star and write down the result. 1 minus cos x, 1 minus cos 2x is equal to 2 sine square x. And when angle will be half, it will lead to 2 sine x by 2. Okay, please note it down. 1 minus cos x equal to 2 sine square x by 2. So square root 2 will come out, and sine square, square root of sine square will be simple sine x by 2. So instead of using square root of 1 minus cos x, as we cannot integrate this function, so we have converted it into that function which is integrable. We can integrate sine x by 2 in simple terms, right? So instead of taking this fx, we are going to this fx for finding the values of a naught and an by using these formulas. So let us start from the value of a naught. For that, a naught, since the function is even, so it will be twice from 0 to pi, fx dx. That means a naught is equal to 2 by pi, 0 to pi. And what is fx? This one, square root of 2 sine x by 2. Square root of 2 sine x by 2. Square root of 2 is a constant, it will remain same, 2 square root of 2 upon pi. And what is the integration of sine? It is minus cos x by 2 divided by coefficient of x, which is 1 by 2. Coefficient of x is 1 by 2 and limit is from 0 to pi. Now see, 1 by 2 is in the denominator. When it will go into the numerator, it will get reciprocal. That means 1 by 2 will become only 2. I hope it is clear to everyone. 1 by 2, when it will go into the numerator, it will become 2 by 1. That means 2. Now let's substitute the limits over here. Upper limit is pi. So it will be minus cos pi by 2. Before putting lower limit, we have to put 1 minus, and 1 minus is already there. There will be plus cos 0 by 2. This is further equal to 2 into 2, 4. That means 4 square root of 2 upon pi. And cos pi by 2 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. 0 by 2 is 0 and cos 0 is 1. So the compiled value of a naught will be 4 square root of 2 upon pi. This is our first value of a naught. In the same way, we will find an. Next, we need to find the value of an. Again, since the function is even, it will become 2 by pi, 0 to pi, fx into cos nx dx. Let's substitute the value of the function. 2 by pi, 0 to pi. What is fx? Square root of 2 sine x by 2. Square root of 2 sine x by 2 into cos nx dx. Now see, we cannot integrate these functions by part because sine and cos are in multiplication. So we need to make a formula. What is that? 2 cos A sine B. It is given by sine A plus B minus sine A minus B. For that we need firstly this 2. So let's take this 2 inside the integral and square root of 2 outside the integral. So it will become square root of 2 by pi, 0 to pi 2. Let's write down cos at the first position, cos nx into sine x by 2 dx. Now see, instead of a in our sum we have nx, 2 cos nx, and instead of b we have x by 2, this one, x by 2, 2 cos a sine b, right? So let's write down the formula, square root of 2 by pi, 0 to pi. And what is that? Sine a plus b. When you will add both of them, x will be common. So you will get n plus 1 by 2 x. Sine a plus b minus sine a minus b. Again, when you will do a minus b, x will be common. So it will be n minus 1 by 2x. N minus 1 by 2x along with dx. Okay, so sine a plus b minus sine a minus b. Now we can simply do integration. It will be equal to square root of 2 by pi. What is the integration of sine? It is minus cos n plus 1 by 2x upon coefficient of x, which is n plus 1 by 2, right? And one more time, integration of sine is minus cos. Minus into this minus will be plus cos n minus 1 by 2 x upon coefficient of x, which is n minus 1 by 2, and limit is from 0 to pi. Let's substitute the limits. Square root of 2 by pi. That means our function will become, firstly let's put upper limit. It will be minus cos n plus 1 by 2 pi upon n plus 1 by 2 first term. Similarly, upper limit over here, cos n minus 1 by 2 pi upon n minus 1 by 2. Upper limit is over. Then we come to the lower limit, which is 0. Now see, when you will put 0 over here, this complete term will be 0. 0 into anything is 0. And what is cos 0? It is 1, right? Similarly, 0 into anything will be 0 and cos 0 is 1. That means these both terms, numerator of these both terms will be 1. Now what about the sign? Since we are putting lower limit, minus is already there, one more minus. Total will be plus 1 upon n plus 1 by 2. Again, plus is there and it will become minus. So minus 1 upon n minus 1 by 2. Break it close. 4 terms are there. First and second term for upper limit, which is pi, and third or fourth for the lower limit, which is 0. Now please write down firstly by putting a star, cos n plus 1 by 2 is always equal to 0. Similarly, cos n minus 2 1 by 2 pi is always equal to 0. You can check by putting n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to. All the values will become 0. So this term became 0, this term became 0. And we are left only with an is equal to square root of 2 upon pi. What else? 1 upon n plus 1 by 2 and minus 1 upon n minus 1 by 2. Now let's take LCM. You will reach at the solution of an. LCM will be 2. 2 will go up. So you will get 2 upon 2n plus 1. In the same way, 2 will be LCM. It will go up. You will get 2 upon 2n minus 1. Now taking throughout LCM, square root of 2 upon pi. Denominator a plus b into a minus b. It will be a square minus b square. And what about the numerator? 2 into 2n minus 1, 4n minus 2. Similarly, minus 2 into 2n plus 1, it will be minus 4n minus 2. So 4n will be cancelled out. That means the combined value of an will be square root of 2 upon pi, minus 2 and minus 2, minus 4 upon 4 n square minus 1, right? Or we can write it down in the form minus 4 square root of 2 upon pi into 4n square minus 1. So earlier we found a naught, this one. Then we have an. Dn is equal to 0. Why? Because the function is an even function. Now we have to write down the Fourier series of this function, and how we can make Fourier series is given by fx is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation an cos nx. That's it. Why? Because bn equal to 0. Now what was a naught? This one, 4 root 2 upon pi. 2 and 4 will be cancelled out and you will get 2 square root of 2 upon pi plus summation an minus 4 square root of 2 upon pi into 4n square minus 1 into cos nx. If you want to expand, you can expand. Otherwise, you can write down in this form also. That means fx is equal to 2 square root of 2 upon pi. Minus 4 is a constant. You can take it out. Square root 2 upon pi. These are those terms which are not containing n. That's why we can take them common. And inside the bracket, you are left with cos nx upon 4n square minus 1. So this is a required Fourier series of the function square root of 1 minus cos x in the interval minus pi to plus pi.